Hello and welcome to Talking GTA episode 14. I'm your host Hugo One, and this is a podcast about all things Grand Theft Auto related. So you may have noticed last week there was no new episode, and that's because this show is going to be every 2 weeks from now on instead of every week, and that's basically because Rockstar isn't giving us a lot to work with right now. There's not really any kind of news about the next GTA, any kind of new updates, or mostly still GTA Online at this point. So we're still waiting patiently for more GTA 6 information. But in the meantime, we have plenty of old GTAs to talk about. So continue to call and email the show to talk about whatever you want to talk about. The phone number is 1-818-691-5807. The email is talkinggta69@gmail.com. So we can talk about whatever it is that you would like to talk about. So last episode, we talked about a GTA movie starring Eminem that Rockstar turned down and a bunch of other stuff. We got lots of comments on YouTube. I'm going to go through them now. Smitty Werbin Jaggerman Jensen says the license for a GTA movie should be worth $100 million at least. Yeah, if they made one, I'm sure, it would be a big deal, big bucks, and all that stuff. So yeah, I hear you. Mr. Screen says Tony Scott doing a GTA movie could have been interesting, but to be honest, the stories are so rich and detailed and full of characters that the only way to do the franchise justice with a real life take would be for a big budget miniseries. Movie or TV show, though, for the love of God, Rockstar, if you ever do decide to allow it, I beg just one thing from you. Please, please, please do not give this to Michael Bay. He'd make something that would be the big screen version of a Chaos/Rainbow Miser playthrough. Complete agreement on heist with randoms being incredibly difficult. Deliver EMP is impossible without team chat or Discord and a plan going in with players you know. So Mr. Screen has some strong feelings about a possible GTA movie. And then also about heist with randoms, which, yeah, I think most people would agree that it is a shit show. So thank you, Mr. Screen, for the comment. Appreciate it. Talking about Packy being in GTA 5, Ray says Packy's appearance in 5 does make sense if you watch the Ballad of Gay Tony's credits where he's at Francis International Airport with a bag. And Jacob adds that the runway lights also form a V when his plane takes off. So it looks like maybe Rockstar was telling us, hey, look, Packy is on his way to Los Santos, so you may see him there, or you will see him there. So they do like to do stuff like that where they make some kind of reference to the next GTA game. So maybe that is what the V meant. And yeah, if he was at the airport, he's taken off, he's on his way to LS, and that's why we run into him there, because we talked about that last week about why would a character from Liberty City be in across the country or whatever. So there's some good information about that. Thank you, friends, appreciate it. Next, our friend Jency had a lot of thoughts during last week's episode, so I'm going to go through all of them. First, it says every Rockstar game could be a movie. Sure, yes, movies are, stories, and these games are stories. Obviously, it could be turned into a movie. Anything can be turned into a movie. There's a movie coming out called Cocaine Bear that's based on a bear eating cocaine, and they made somehow a full-length feature film about it, and it's one of I think it may be Ray Liotta's last movie, or one of his last movies, because he's in it. He's of course passed away, the voice of Tommy Vercetti. But yeah, so anything could be a movie. I understand that, yes. Next, Amphibious Assault was a tutorial to swimming, lung capacity, and swimming skills. Sure, yes, that's fine. However, I think the point I was trying to make about Amphibious Assault is it's being too restrictive with making me do what I'd like. If the mission itself is a tutorial to lung capacity, why do I need to get my lung capacity up prior to the mission? Just let me die on the mission or something like that. It just doesn't even let you start the mission. So next one says every GTA could be a movie. Again, 4, 5 could be a good movie. 3, Vice City, San Andreas, LCS, VCS, Advance. 1, 2, London could be. Yes, I understand. He lists every every GTA on here. It continues on. Chinatown Wars, episodes from Liberty City. Yes, I understand that. I understand it. Do you understand what storytelling is? Yes, it's across all types of media here. Yes. Anyway, also in San Andreas, if you were too fat, you couldn't start 2 truth missions in the desert and alternate cutscenes. Yes, I don't know what that's in reference to, but yes, that's true. The new versions of the old games don't look so well with the mods, and the mods have been taken down because of the rules and copyright, sadly. Yes. I heard about Shazam, but I never seen it. Sinbad says it never existed. Guess he deleted it and lies on or forgot about it. Or it doesn't exist. So I don't know. Rip Rockstar North, Rip Rockstar Games. Jency, what these are all, why are you, these are like 10 different comments. I put them all together here and I'm reading through them and they're just outrageous. Rip Peter Fonda is another one. Yes, the voice of the truth. He passed away. I think GTA 6 will be called just Grand Theft Auto, like New Sim City or the new Saints Row. We'll see. Yeah, people have mentioned that. I don't like that idea. I think for A, there's already been a game called Grand Theft Auto, the first one. B, and I understand that there's already been, these other games and they're called that again. B, the just the name, the phrase GTA 6 is like already just so popular on social media. It has so many the times that it's trended on Twitter and stuff like that, and it doesn't even exist. So, but if it was just going to be simply GTA 6, they probably would have already said that by now, I guess. But they do just, when they talk about it, they say the next GTA. So it could be anything. But again, back to the just being called Grand Theft Auto. I hate that idea because then it leaves kind of almost no room for growth. It's like admitting, okay, well, here's the next game, and it's almost like it will live forever. We'll just keep updating this one thing, which, cool for people that like that, but I like a new game every so often, more like every few years, not every 10 years like it's setting up to be. But a new map, new characters, new single player story, all that stuff. So yeah, I hope they don't just kind of like pump the brakes and say, all right, here it is, Grand Theft Auto. This is just what it is. Although a lot of people call Grand Theft Auto 5 Grand Theft Auto or GTA or something like that because it's the only one they know. Jency goes on to say, I didn't like it when they killed off Johnny K, the Lost MC, and Rocco. GTA 4 didn't have an anniversary. VCS didn't. Chinatown Wars didn't. 1, 2. I guess you're saying that there wasn't an anniversary version of the game. Sure, yes, they all had anniversaries. Whether Rockstar said anything about them, did anything with them, or anything like that, that's something we can go back and look at. But yeah, they may not have had anniversary releases. Which, whatever, who knows what their reasoning is behind all that. Young Turks was never in Vice City, only SA. I know that. I know. Listen, you asked, it was your email that asked me if I ever experienced the Mandela effect. That's what it is. It was something I thought was a thing, but it wasn't. That was the point of the movie that I talked about, Shazam, and the reason I brought up thinking Young Turks was in a different game that it wasn't. So that's the Mandela effect. So that's what I was trying to answer you. So anyway, thank you, Jency, for all your thoughts there. Appreciate it. Oh my God. Let's see. Next, Ray says Parallel Lines has a past and present mechanic that GTA could take advantage of by having 2 different versions of a city, like a present day Vice City and an 80s era Vice City, with their own period specific missions, vehicles, and so on. I think that sounds cool. I would be down. I don't know if they'd want to do that, but I think that would be awesome. Tiger K says, I noticed you mentioned how much you enjoyed doing tags in SA, and I thought it would be cool if graffiti played a bigger role in GTA 6. Part of Jason's character could be he is a graffiti writer and has to go over his rivals' pieces. The graffiti could have a slightly more in-depth minigame than San Andreas, more like the Warriors or Mark Echo's Getting Up, and you could maybe choose different designs to do. It would also be cool to be able to do it on any blank surface or even design your own. But maybe that's asking too much. Keep up the good work, Hugo. Your podcast makes my commute better. Thank you, Tiger K. And by the way, apologies to anybody who was like waiting for last week's episode and it never came, since I didn't really announce anywhere that it would be 2 weeks from now on. It just kind of happened because nothing was going on. And apologies that if you do have like a commute and you're looking forward to it and now it is less frequent. Sorry about that. But one day it'll probably be back to weekly once we get a lot to talk about. Anyway, to your point, yeah, graffiti in the sense of more like art instead of just like gang tags would be pretty cool. And I think that would be something that people could have fun with and kind of get creative with if you could. I don't know how much you could do. Maybe somehow they could design it to where you could just spray paint on a wall your design, what you want, and do stuff like that. I think that would be awesome. Since you do have all this kind of like not well, yeah, like empty real estate, just sides of buildings, walls, stuff like that. And it's illegal if the cops roll by and see you, you get a star or something, and so on and so forth. But who knows how long something like that could stay? If you did it like in an online session, maybe it would stay for a while or something, or stay long enough for you while you were in that session. You could take a picture of it, upload it to Social Club or whatever, and have people check out your graffiti and something like that. I think that would be cool to have graffiti play a bigger part in the next game. So thank you, Tiger, for the comment. JPS says, thanks, Hugo, for getting various of my comments onto the podcast. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I think I have an idea who they might make fun of or base one of their antagonists on. Since Elon Musk has been all over the place with SpaceX, the Teslas, and him purchasing Twitter, I think they might go with parodying him just like they did with Mark Zuckerberg in form of Jay Norris. It's just a gut feeling. That would be a great idea. It's very topical. It's, somebody that people have strong feelings about one way or another. There seems people either love him or hate him. But I think the idea of kind of like super billionaires that are possibly evil or using their money to do crazy things, could work in the world of GTA pretty well, which it kind of already has. It has in the past that we have these rich people that we either want to take down or work with or whatever. So something about, an Elon Musk or a Jeff Bezos or whoever in the game, a parody of those types of billionaires that are doing, all kinds of crazy stuff would be pretty interesting. I agree with you. Thank you, JPS. 40 Cal says, yo, Hugo Mang, thanks again for including me in the podcast. I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Do you think GTA games are unrealistic enough, or do they need to be even more unrealistic to add to the fun factor of the game? I feel like games now aren't as good as games back in the day because they are way too focused on realism. Realism takes away from the fun factor of any game, and I just hope they don't try to make GTA 6 a realistic game besides the graphics, of course. I saw a post that said Rockstar was aiming for photorealism in their next GTA game, and I hope that they keep their funny and unrealistic nature in any future games. I agree. One of my biggest things that is kind of ties into realism and stuff is when your car flips over in a GTA game onto its roof. In GTA 5, you can roll it back over onto the wheels just using the joystick or whatever, which is totally unrealistic. However, I appreciate that feature very, very much because it's so annoying in the older games when your car flips over and you can't flip it back over. You're just kind of stuck or whatever. And it could ruin a mission, or it could really leave you stranded or whatever. So the fact that you can roll a car back over in GTA 5 is something that I appreciate a lot. So yeah, I think there can be a balance of realism and, fun, but yeah, if it gets too realistic, it won't be as fun. I agree with you. So like if you have to fuel your car, before you drive it or whatever, you steal somebody's car and they were almost on empty and you run out of gas when you drive down the street, that's going to be annoying, So I hope they keep a focus on the things that make Grand Theft Auto fun, and don't let realism get in the way of that. But, like you said, graphics and stuff like that would be pretty cool. So I hear what you're saying. Thank you, 40 Cal. Appreciate it. Sprung51 Energy says, loving the podcast, Hugo. Keep up the awesome work you are doing. And my question for the next podcast would be, what dream location do you want GTA to take place in? For me, it would be one of the northern states like North Yankton, just because I want to see how Rockstar would handle the snowy environment. And also I want a Ski-Doo in the game, snowmobile. And anyway, thank you, Sprunk51 Energy. My dream location is Las Venturas all the way, a modern day Las Venturas that, has these mega casinos and stuff that you can pull any kind of criminal activity in, whether it be something small like pickpocketing tourist or whatever, or a mega casino heist like Caligula's or Ocean's 11 or whatever. And also you could do legit businesses or whatever, or there's lots of prostitution. Las Venturas would just be such a perfect place for a new GTA. So I really hope that happens eventually. San Fierro would also be great. And these are, these are obviously two of the three cities in San Andreas, which is my favorite game. But still, I think the cities would stand on their own as GTA games in a pretty great way. But yeah, a northern state with snow and stuff like that seems like it would make sense. And you've had two cities back to back in Los Santos and Vice City that are going to be definitely no snow at all. So yeah, they had snow in North Yankton in that one little part, and then it snows in Los Santos online during Christmas or New Year's or whatever it is. So they obviously want to mess around with some snow somehow, but they put themselves in a position where it's not a major occurrence since they're in these, warm weather climates or whatever. So, yeah, we'll see if there is another one. Who knows how long before we get a whole new city after Vice City for GTA 6. So, something to think about. And the final YouTube comment is from Jorge, who says he likes white ladies. Okay, so that's it for the comments. As far as news for this week or for the last 2 weeks in GTA world, there's not a whole lot going on. The GTA 25th anniversary came and went with really nothing happening. We talked about that with Vice City's 20th anniversary, but the 25th anniversary of the release of the very first Grand Theft Auto game happened, and a lot of fans and kind of fan sites and stuff talked about it, but Rockstar themselves didn't say a word. They had mentioned it previously, like they say, oh, in celebration of 25 years of Rockstar, or 25 years of Grand Theft Auto, we're giving away the such and such t-shirt on GTA Online, which is really nothing. But besides that, there's really, they said nothing at all. So it looks like we're kind of just gonna be, I don't know, just go the business as usual as far as Rockstar goes, with just random kind of online updates here and there, and nothing major coming anytime soon, but they could surprise us, who knows. Other than that, there was news that the iFruit mobile app is no longer available on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. This could just be temporary, or there could be a problem, or they could just be done with it. I think I downloaded it when GTA 5 originally came out, and messed around a little bit with Chop or the customization of like cars or whatever, but then never used it again. And so I don't know if there's people that still use it to this day, or it's just been, basically useless this whole time. I have no idea. As popular as Grand Theft Auto 5 is, I imagine some people still use it, or new players getting into it have downloaded it because I think the game tells you to, or the game says you can download this thing on your mobile device or whatever. So, but that's gone now. So sorry to iFruit fans. Also, there is a rumor, I don't think it's confirmed yet, but it looks like fast travel with taxis is coming to GTA Online soon. So in single player, you can call a taxi up, get in it, and when you get in, you can skip the trip for a higher cost and basically just get teleported to wherever you're trying to go, which comes in handy for like picking up collectibles or speedrunning in any form or fashion if your category allows you to use taxis. But now in GTA Online, they supposedly will have a skip trip option. You can still get in a taxi in GTA Online now, but you have to slowly, sit in the back seat while he drives there, which is just a waste of time. But a fast travel option in GTA Online like that, as kind of giving you the option to almost go anywhere. It doesn't really let you go to like the middle of the forest or anything. The cab has to be able to drive there, but it is cool to have that. And I'm all for fast travel. That definitely takes away from the realism and stuff, but that's something that I really like, and I'm happy that it would be part of any new kind of GTA stuff. So yes, all for fast travel. Besides that, not a lot going on. So, let's get right into the emails.
Wise choice, sir. Wise choice.
Okay. First email is from our friend Jency from the YouTube comments. It says, what's your favorite GTA story? My favorite GTA story is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's my favorite game, and the story is one of the reasons it is. It's because there's such a diverse cast of characters that CJ runs into throughout his journey. And he does all these different things as he's kind of moving up in the world and getting money and kind of making sure still his family is taken care of, his friends are taken care of, and then also he gets revenge on the people that wronged his family and himself and all that stuff. So I think the story is really good in San Andreas. And I know a lot of people always say GTA 4 and stuff like that. And a little bit of GTA 4's story that I experienced, because I never played through the whole game with watching all the cutscenes and stuff. I've only kind of done it playing the missions. But anyway, the parts I have seen seem very dark and depressing. And I know that's kind of the point of that game, but that's a bit too much for me. Obviously, CJ, he comes home because his mom is killed, and then, a lot of terrible shit happens, but it's also kind of lighthearted and funny and crazy and just all over the place. Which is what I like from a GTA game. So San Andreas is my favorite story for sure. Thank you, Jency, for the email. Appreciate it. All right, next email from Joshua. It says, "What's up, Hugo? Never thought I'd actually email, but here I am. Can't tell you the stuff your videos have gotten me through and how many shifts your content has helped me through. Anyways, do you think that GTA as a franchise has become a victim of the same problem as the Pokemon franchise, in which they had no idea how their IP would evolve, and in turn, they have found themselves stuck in a trap of old and new canonical not aligning? To clarify, I feel that the migration to the HD universe was a lazy way to transition to a new generation. Just cutting it off and having a semi-hard reset to me is not as fulfilling, and essentially opens Rockstar / Take-Two to crap out whatever they want and wait for a fan response to determine if they want to be canon or not. However, it's far better than its comparison, in which they constantly trip over themselves to correct themselves in every single release. I do realize that it's impossible to tell what the future holds. However, I just can't help but feel that Rockstar / Take-Two could have done better with bringing us into the next generation. What are your thoughts? Thanks for your time. If I make it onto the cast, I want to say so much, but I'm just some dude who likes your content, so keep it up and I'll always be here." Thank you, Joshua. Appreciate that, friend. Yeah, I've always not been a huge fan of how the universes, the HD universe and the 3D universe, are separate, especially because the HD universe is in the same cities as the 3D universe. Liberty City, Los Santos, stuff like that. Los Santos has a Grove Street. Los Santos has Vagos, families, Ballas. It has all these different things. Restaurants, you obviously can't eat at the restaurants in GTA 5. But all these things that are kind of across universes, but they tell us, nope, it's different. It's different, just so they, like you said, don't have to kind of come up with how the old connects to the new and what's happening with all that. I would much rather it be, an HD version of LS that has a connection to the past. That Grove Street looks like Grove Street from the 3D universe, and the people know the characters and stuff like that. And they're kind of toying with that here and there, where they talk about the characters in GTA 5 will talk about things that happen in San Andreas, but kind of vaguely, so that the player knows what they're talking about, but they're not really connecting it completely. But I think it would be great if Rockstar hired some kind of like GTA historian or a team of them to have on the staff. And it doesn't even have to be some major kind of like position, but I've encountered so many people that know like every little thing about GTA, and they could easily be there to like read a script and say, oh, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, you should say this, that, or the other, this character did this back in this game from 20 years ago or whatever, and then they could make it connect. But it does kind of come off as lazy when they just make a whole new game with the same city. If it didn't have the same city, I wouldn't care as much. And they wouldn't even have to kind of play around with it and pretend that they're different universes. But because it is the same city, that makes it kind of frustrating. But yeah, thank you, Joshua, for the email. Appreciate it, friend. Next email from Nate. It says, "Hey Hugo, long time YouTube watcher here. Firstly, I want to say thank you for all the hours of content you provided over the years. It's very much appreciated. Secondly, my main question was, what are your personal favorite safe houses in San Andreas? Doesn't have to be from a speedrunning perspective. My personal two favorites are the one on the hill in Mahala near Mad Dog's mansion and the one in Prickle Pine near the country club. P.S. What happened to your sister who used to read the Twitch donations? Thanks again, Hugo." Nate, from Nate Clark. Thank you, Nate. My sister Amy, she died of ligma. Unfortunately, it was very sudden. It happened during one of the first chat sheet runs from years ago, and it just kind of completely caught us off guard, and all of a sudden she was dead, and it was from ligma. There's actually a tweet out there from me that where Amy led her or read her last goodbye when she died of ligma, so maybe I'll retweet that. Check my Twitter. Hugo is the one, at Hugo is the one on Twitter. Anyway, as far as safe houses go, the two you named are the first two that come to mind for me. The mansion in the hills, which is pretty sweet. Like if I had to have one of these houses in real life, that would be a pretty sweet location, and it's a nice house. The Prickle Pine one by the country club, I always feel like that one is just it's kind of convenient because the Las Venturas kind of save marker is all the way on the other side of the city at the casino, and I guess you have the one not too far at the airstrip, but still it is kind of a ways away, a bit of a drive. So you have that one that's a nice little location near Misappropriation and Millie and anything else you may have going on up there in that part of the city. Also in Las Venturas on the strip, the Pirates and Men's Pants and the Camel's Toe, those are nice, and those are only $6,000, and you own it. You buy a $6,000 suite on the Las Venturas Strip is wild to me. I think the inside is ugly as hell. It looks dated. It looks like some 90s hotel suite or whatever. And I don't mean sweet like the Buster. I mean sweet like the place you stay in or whatever. But yeah, so to like have that one across from Caligula's is awesome. That's something that I kind of struggled with, like in GTA 3. There being so few places to save, so few safe houses. I love that they added the option to buy houses and have a save marker there in San Andreas. It worked out perfect, especially with this much larger map. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. Thank you for the email though, Nate. Appreciate it, friend. All right, next email from Mike the Nerd. "Hey Hugo, thanks for reading my last emails in the podcast. It was really enjoyable to see what others say too. Anyways, on with what I have to say. One, I recently watching your GTA fails and funny moments videos on YouTube from speedruns, and I gotta say, every time you laugh really hard, it makes me want to laugh. LOL, thank you. Two, if Rockstar makes a new IP, I think I would like to see them return to the development of Agent, because I like the theme of the Cold War setting in the 70s where you play as a secret agent or spy. Maybe in one section you play as a U.S. secret agent from the CIA and explore the city of Moscow from Russia, and on the other section you play as a Russian secret agent from the KGB and explore Washington, D.C. from the U.S. In the ending, you get to choose if the U.S. secret agent wins and kills the Russian secret agent, so America could win the Cold War, which would match up with our history, or if the Russian secret agent wins and kills the American secret agent, so Russia could win the Cold War, then it would be an alternate history timeline where communism takes over. That epilogue would take place in the 90s, where you get to see after effects of your choices in the US and Russia. This idea was an inspiration from the COD Black Ops Cold War story, but with GTA-like open world gameplay and story from Rockstar. Thanks for responding to my email, and I hope you like my idea for the new IP concept for Agent that was canceled. Thank you, Mike the Nerd. Appreciate it. Yeah, I hear people talk about this game, Agent. I don't know much about it, but if it was something like that, that would be interesting. Yeah, anything that I'm not big into Call of Duty at all, or any kind of like war games or anything like that. But if it kind of played like an open world GTA game, then maybe I would be. That does sound pretty interesting. So I guess it all depends on the pacing of the game as well, because if it's like really slow paced and boring, then I wouldn't be for it. But if it was a lot of action and a lot of fun and a good story and skippable cutscenes where you don't have to sit there and watch it if you don't want to, then I would probably love it. If it was no matter what the setting is or the idea behind it, a good story and good gameplay is going to trump all else. So thank you, Mike, for the email. Appreciate it, friend. Next one. Hi, Hugo. I've been listening to your podcast and I really enjoy it. So I was wondering, do you think we've hit a peak with San Andreas? I mean, in terms of what the game lets you do in between missions, all those side missions, properties, collectibles, the missions themselves, and the diversity of the map. Sure, 4 was a solid entry, but so much stuff from San Andreas wasn't included. It kind of felt like a step back. Similar story for 5. I've been watching your Rainbow Miser / Chaos on YouTube, and the way the game makes you fail for anything that doesn't go its way is nuts. I also miss all those different cities and how everyone feels unique. So, with most of the OG Rockstar crew gone, do you think we are going to get more tedious and heavily scripted missions like scouting the port in 5? Or maybe they'll give you more freedom to accomplish the objective. Keep it up, Mang. Your stuff's great. Thank you, Ender Usac. Appreciate it, friend. Yeah, no, my biggest fear is that it is going to be way more like scripted and slow paced and all that stuff that I don't like about 5, that I didn't like about Red Dead Redemption. I liked Red Dead Redemption. I liked the story. I liked the graphics. I liked the gameplay. I didn't like that it was like almost forcing me to do like tedious stuff. Like you said, like one mission you're pouring drinks at the bar, another mission you're building a fucking fence or a barn or some shit, and it's like that. Well, that would be cool to see in the cutscene, but maybe I don't want to sit here and do that. If I want to play that game again, I don't want to have to like push down on the stick to do yoga like in GTA 5. I don't like to do that every time I do the speed run or scouting the port, like you said. So yeah, I'm worried it's definitely going more in that direction, and that's kind of what Rockstar wants to do. They want to have, these big blockbuster games that have a great story that appeal to, I guess, adults and stuff. But then I guess also have the GTA Online where people can just get in and shoot each other up. But I would much rather it be like San Andreas. I do like that you had like you said, diversity of the map and all these different missions and submissions and all kinds of stuff to be doing. And it wasn't, like with GTA 5, Strangers and Freaks side missions are just little stories, and sometimes it's as much as just driving somebody somewhere and hearing their life story or whatever. And that's not fun to me. I'm not really for that. So if it's like that, maybe I'll enjoy it and I'll like it, but it's really not something that has a lot of replayability. So, who knows? I don't want to like prejudge anything. But I am worried that that's kind of the direction we're heading. But thank you for the email, friend. Appreciate it. All right. Next one. Hey, Hugo. Felipe here. Greetings from Brazil. Huge fan of your work and such a great idea doing a podcast. Noticed some clear audio from the recording of last week's episode. New mic. No, same mic, but new mixer. So yes, there was a change in the audio. So good ear. Anyways, there's a big mod shout out I should do. Not sure if you've heard of it, but it's the GTA Vice City Big Mission Pack. It changes the game drastically and adds new missions like SWAT raids, new ideas such as buying some upgrades, more damage, more health, for example. Clothes now have attributes, and you can even handcuff suspects and check cars for drugs during cop missions. And there's also asset wars. Since I've not seen some modding discussions on the episodes, thought I could ask what's your favorite mod and why, and if you've ever wanted to check some others that you still didn't or have an idea of your own. Big hugs, mate. P.S. Don't know if you're familiar with it, but at least on Spotify, you can add polls on the episodes or even allow comments and highlight them. So if you ever need to ask the audience something, you can go to your podcast distributor and add a question there. Oh, cool. I did not know that. That is interesting. So thank you, Felipe, for the email. Appreciate it. As far as mods go, my favorites, the big two that I love, are the chaos mod, which there's at this point multiple chaos mods by different creators for many of the GTA games, which is awesome because that really takes a game that you know and love very well and turns it into just a crazy experience. And I love that about it. And also the Rainbow Miser, which is a randomizer for all these different GTA games. And that also, randomizes things up and makes it a crazy experience and stuff. So, it kind of gives you this best of both worlds things where you have like this familiar game that you know so much about, but it changes things in a way that makes it a new experience every time you play it, which I should say GTA games are a new experience every time you play it, no matter what. So much RNG, it's just a living world that you're out there existing in, even if the missions are the same. But the Chaos mod, the Rainbow Miser, these change the missions basically to an extent. But so stuff like that I love, but like the mod you named where it adds all kinds of extra stuff, that's awesome for those that want it. That's the great thing about mods is you can kind of basically turn this into whatever game you want, so to speak, but like when you talk about buying upgrades and stuff like that, that's something I'm not a huge fan of. That's what I'm worried about. Like the next game may have too much side shit, or I guess stuff you have to do to make sure it's not just like you go there and you shoot them. You have to do all kinds of extra not setup missions, but buy the specific gun and then stash it into something and do this and do that, instead of kind of deciding how you want to do it, kind of like we talked about the last one where the game will fail you if you don't do it their way. But anyway, so any kind of mod or whatever that changes any of that stuff is cool, and I hope people are enjoying it, and it sounds pretty awesome. But thank you for the email, friend. Appreciate it. Okay, that's it for emails. Let's move on to the phone calls.
All right, let's go to the phones. Hello, caller. You're on Chatterbox.
Hey, Hugo, Clay Doggy. Just catching up on the podcast. I was traveling last week. Thought I'd leave you a message. Hey, dude. So, check this out, man. So, I know like a few weeks ago I called in and I was talking about how I'm like probably one of the few people who actually likes the definitive edition versions of the games, which I still do. I went through it on the Xbox when it first came out last year, and then recently on the PS5 when PlayStation Plus put Vice City out there, and I was like, cool, I'll play it again, whatever. So I was traveling last week, right? So I picked up a cheap copy of the definitive edition trilogy on Switch, because I usually just take my Switch with me when I travel places, because, why not? Man, I will defend the Xbox and PS5 versions all day. That Switch version, if you haven't played that, man, that is rough, dude. It runs at like 20-something FPS, even with infinite sprint. Like you do paramedic, you get your infinite sprint in GTA 3. It's like you're like running in slow-mo, man. Like I don't even know what they were thinking even releasing that game on the Switch. It's cool that I can play GTA when I'm traveling and not have to play like the Android version, which I don't like cell phone games anyway, so whatever. But like, man, there is still so much needing to happen to that game. It is bad. I don't know if you ever played it, checked it out, watched the video or anything like that. Yeah, be cautioned. Xbox, PS5, great. All day. Don't worry about it. That's it, buddy. Have a good one. Good show. Fuck sweet. Peace.
Thank you, Clay Doggy, for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, I have a quick story about that. So when the definitive edition came out last year in 2021, or once it was announced, I reached out to Rockstar and I said, hey, I love these old GTA games. I would love to work with you to do any kind of promotion for this new release or whatever. And they emailed me back and they said, all right, we'll give you a free copy of the game or whatever. And I had already pre-ordered it on PC, and PC was going to be my main way to play it. So I said, okay, I'll take the Switch version. So they sent me a code for the Switch version. I downloaded it, and then the day that the definitive edition released, my plan was to first play it on the Xbox Series X, play San Andreas, because that was on Game Pass day one or whatever, while I downloaded the PC version, because you couldn't pre-download it even if you pre-ordered it or whatever. So I was going to play Xbox and then PC, and then I guess what happened was I was trying to download the PC version while playing the Xbox, and it knocked me off the stream, so I just downloaded the PC version and played it. Anyway, played the PC version. I enjoyed it. There's things I like about it, things I don't like about it, whatever. Played it on the Xbox after that and liked that version too. But then I loaded up the Switch version too. I was thinking of streaming that one for whatever reason. I think it was in that weird spot where they took the PC versions down, and because they had to take all the music out of it. It was a weird time. But anyway, so I was going to play the Switch version, and I played GTA 3 for like 2 seconds. I was like, this looks like doo-doo, so let me just not even bother. And then I turned it off, and I haven't touched it since. So I have heard, people have told me, they're like, oh, there's a major update. It looks so much better now. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then other people have said they played through all 3 games on the Switch and loved it. So yeah, I guess if that's your only experience with it, it's fine. But yeah, if you played on PC or one of the, higher end consoles, it would be a struggle to go back and play it on the Switch. But hopefully, maybe that stuff will get fixed. If not, then, so be it. I guess it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, I hear you on that one from the little bit experience that I did have with it on the Switch. So thank you, Clay Doggy, for the call. Appreciate it.
I got to say, I love that Lamar Davis voicemail. That was really smart of you. I just wanted to pester you about the Warriors again. Have you watched the movie yet? Have you played the game yet? Sure, you're a busy guy, but, some point in your life, you really got to watch that movie and play that game. Because, I've made everyone I know watch that movie at least one time because it's definitely a classic. It's definitely a movie of its time. I used to watch it on VHS. My grandma had a VHS copy of that movie. She had the whole vinyl soundtrack. Had a really cool design on it with all the characters on it and stuff. It was a really good movie and an amazing game as well. And those people that said it wasn't good whenever you responded to them, I call about it, they're lying. They're stupid. They don't know what a good game is. And, really, really, really check out that game. That soundtrack is just impeccable. Just a great game all around. All right. Peace out, Hugo 1. And again, fuck Sweet. He's a buster, and I hate him. And all that good stuff. And appreciate it. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you for the call. I have not watched The Warriors yet. I will try to find it again and check it out. Once I watch it, then I will consider playing the game and stuff. I do know that I think it's In the City by Joe Walsh, which I really like that song. I think that's from the Warriors soundtrack. Shout out to Grandma who had that on vinyl. I wish she still had that. Or I wish maybe you had it now. You can put it on a turntable and jam out while you watch the VHS and play the game and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll check it out. Always mixed kind of responses whenever the Warriors comes up. People say they love it. Other people say they hate it. So interesting stuff. I got to try it for myself and see how I feel. But thank you for the call, friend. Appreciate it.
Hugo, what do you think about the fact that we almost got an Austin Powers go-kart game instead of GTA 3? I think it would have been about as sad as sweet if he met Horsecock Harry. All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, friend. Appreciate it. I had no idea that there was a possibility that there could be an Austin Powers go-kart game instead of GTA 3, or maybe somebody had mentioned that to me before. I have no idea. I think I saw something recently where some guy was like, oh, the first GTA was originally going to be about a dinosaur destroying a city. And then some other GTA developer had to come out and say, no, we just took something from some dinosaur game or something like that. There was some debate about the first GTA game. But, I was never into the first GTA or the top-down GTAs. GTA 3 was like life-changing for sure for me. It was like an amazing experience when I first played it, and it just set me on the path that I'm on now, standing here talking on this podcast about GTA. It all goes back to GTA 3 for me. So if it would have been some Austin Powers go-kart game, I highly doubt this would be an Austin Powers go-kart podcast. So whoever made the decision to make it about GTA 3 or make sure they were doing the GTA 3 shit instead of Austin Powers go-kart, then thank you, because that was a great decision. Anyway, thank you for the call, friend. Appreciate it. That's it for phone calls. Not a lot this week. Lots of fun talking about GTA, though. As always, if you want to call and leave a message, call 1-818-691-5807. You heard our friend say that Lamar voicemail or whatever, that's who answers the phone when you call that number. It's Lamar Davis, and he tells you to leave a message. So you can just call and listen to it if you want, or call and leave a message. If you want to email, talkinggta69@gmail.com. Shout out to the YouTube members, Mr. Hypnotic, Fanny, Jonathan Miller, Sierwit, Zach W, Lucas, Katsune, Teku, and True Forever. Thanks, homies. Thank you to all the homies out there listening on any platform or watching on YouTube or watching my streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hugo_1. And then just Hugo1 on kind of wherever else. I'm out there somewhere, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm always out there playing GTA, doing something GTA related. So hit me up, hang out with me, talk to us on the podcast. But that's it. I will talk to you guys next week. Peace.